Hello and welcome to What Moves Us Express,
Or alternatively, what doesn't move us?
our 10-minute daily podcast throughout this disrupted season
Brought to you from sunny Brighton and
at Nine Elms in London. Good. Hello, Johanna.
Hi Liam, where are you?
I am sitting in my front room in London. I'm just going to take a picture as well of our setup. You can see me now.
Can you see me too?
Yeah, wave.
With my lovely San Francisco backdrop.
Well, I've just realised in the background there's a load of booze in mine. All closed for later on. Right, so we have 10 minutes. So as I think we started at 13, so we've got till 23 past.
23 minutes past, excellent.
So should we call this, instead of What Moves Us, are we going to call it What Moves Us Express or What Throws Us?
Or what not moves us.
Yeah, or else that's still.
So here we are in splendid isolationism with the world falling apart around us. What does this mean?
It means the same word. Isn't it the same word as crisis or opportunity?
Absolutely. So how are we exploring the opportunities?
Well, at the moment, I'm filling out a bid for a innovation project, but there are lots of opportunities. I think one to cover. Right. So obviously, the context is very few people are travelling, very few staff are available to run the railways, and we don't know when this is going to finish or how severe it's going to be. So we're all working at home without the normal networking that goes on around the industry to find out and share ideas. And obviously, since what are we doing at the moment?
So what are we doing at the moment? So first of all, so this is our first new 10-minute podcast that we're going to do daily.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing we're going to do. And what has been the impact on Rail Innovation Group and also Startup Rail in terms of what is going on in the current climate?
Okay, so we have a number of work streams in the Rail Innovation Group, two of which involve physical meetups. So we do monthly meetups in London, bringing together community for knowledge sharing. And then we also have our Startup Rail program, where we go around the country and find new companies to bring into the rail sector. So both of those we can't now do because we're obviously not allowed to get together or make non-essential journeys. So last Tuesday was supposed to be in Sheffield. That's been postponed. That was going to be at 3 Squared. That has now been put back, I think, to July. Hopefully we're able to do the event in July. And the meetups, we were supposed to have one on Monday night about High Speed 2, and that's now been postponed. So for the foreseeable future, as far as we know, we need to find a different way of doing things.
So this is one of our different way of doing things, isn't it? So how are we going to, so first thing is we're podcasting again. I mentioned we're going to be doing a daily podcast, 10 minutes, and who's going to be our first guest? Because that's the whole point of this, isn't it? That we're going to be showcasing our community and bringing them to your ears, basically, rather than having our meetups.
Yes. Who's going to be our first guest? Well, I've invited someone for tomorrow, Friday, but they haven't come back to me yet. So I can guarantee that on Monday, we will have Matt from Seatfrog. I don't know what he's going to say, so we'll ask him.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be a pretty challenging time for Seatfrog. So it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say.
Yes, I think it's a challenging time for everybody. So we decided that should we do a warm up for us, because we're going to have 5 questions that we're going to ask everybody.
Yes, go on then.
Do you want me to be the interviewer, or are you going to be the interviewer?
Right, okay, but the 5 questions, I can't even remember what the 5 questions were. I came up with the 5 questions.
Who are you and what do you do?
So I'm Johanna Randall. I'm going to call myself a girl about town because that is normally what I do.
Right. Look at you in the backdrop of San Francisco in your Zoom account. How are you impacted by current events?
I think for me, the main thing is that I can still do most of my work, but for somebody who sort of like does lots of innovation, I'm not actually that tech savvy. So I mean, like, I'm good at coming up with ideas and I'm good at using the technology that I need to use. But I think, like most people, I'm having to use the technology and find new ways of doing it. So one of the things that will be I mean, like you say, Zoom account. So I've just FaceTimed and things like that before. So now I'm doing that type of thing. I'm even doing my aerobics class via Zoom. So
Are you
yes.
recording that, putting it online?
Yes.
What are your challenges?
I think, like a lot of small businesses, a lot of work is being postponed, cancelled. So keeping clients, on board, making sure that you've got a pipeline of work is proving challenging. But I think as much as possible, I'm all, I mean, for us within Startup Rail and also with other SMEs, is trying to work collaboratively to find industry problems so that we can be part of the solution rather than just thinking, oh no, what do we do now? But actually trying actively to seek out the opportunities.
Yes, one thing a couple of things on this is one, I think it proves that you don't always have to travel to that meeting because you can do a lot at home. And I think it's also showing people a much more human aspect of people, because you're seeing me in my front room. I've seen people in their bedrooms, in their kitchens, out in their gardens, in various states of being ready for a call or not. And it just, it kind of just takes the professional shield.
I think
Professional shield away from people.
I think that is probably one of the most interesting aspects of that, because I think we've all think of technology as being something that can actually make you less human, but you're right. I mean, I had a call this afternoon, a video conference, and at the end of it, I met some of the people that I was calling with family, and we all had a little wave and we had a chat to the kids and that. So I think it is maybe bringing some of us closer together, and we're finding out a lot more about some of our colleagues that we work with than we knew before.
Yeah, but that can build a relationship as well. Also, if you're working at home and your children are around, you can't avoid it, so you may as well just
live with it.
Which brings me on to the last question, which is, what positives can you see coming out of this? Oh no, sorry, I forgot the question before, which was, is there anything that your business / product can offer to customers / government, etc., to help at the moment?
I don't think I personally can in terms of what I can do, but I think for both of us is that we have a huge network and we have lots of things in our brain of people that we know can probably help people. Yeah. And I think that's really the point of starting up this 10-minute podcast and showcasing some of our startups, because actually whilst they might do one thing today, they can repivot what they do and do something else. And I think policymakers and big businesses and that should think about how some of these startups and people that work in their bedrooms and that can actually help solve some of those problems, and so they should tap into our community.
Yes, especially the people developing new products.
Yes.
So, last question, because we've got 30 seconds left. What positives can you see coming out of this?
I'm going to say, I don't know whether it's positive or negative, but I think from a transport perspective, I think probably this is going to be the change that maybe transport needs and could be good for the environment in the future, because we're all having to reevaluate the way we live our lives.
Okay, good final words. Okay, first down. We'll speak tomorrow then.
Speak tomorrow. Bye.